Seems like recently there's been more and more rumblings going around that President Trump might be pardoning Edward Snowden, which, unless you're some type of, I don't know, apparatchik for the national security state, we should all view this as a good thing. And obviously, shouldn't just pardon Snowden, pardon Julian Assange, pardon Reality Winter, pardon, all political prisoners within the U.S., whether that's Mumia Abu Jamal, Leonard Peltier of the American Indian movement, people that were connected with like the Black Panther Party, or, all of these people obviously should be pardoned. But if he only pardons Snowden, that's still better than pardoning, I mean, than not pardoning anybody that deserves it. Obviously, Snowden deserves it, Assange, Reality Winter, all of the other, probably at this point, tens of thousands, if not more, political prisoners within the United States. So it's yet to be determined if this would happen, but I obviously hope it does. And I, I don't see, again, why, unless you're some a tool of the national security state, I don't know why you would be, against this. November, let's see. Now, a host of figures are calling in unison for Trump to follow through on the proposal. President Trump is listening to the many of us who are urging him to pardon Snowden. It's the right thing to do, Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz said. Kentucky Senator Rand Paul agreed, slamming former Director of National Intelligence James Clapper in the process. Clapper brazenly lied to Congress, denying that the deep state was spying on Americans. It's true. Snowden simply revealed Clapper's lies and exposed unconstitutional spying. He deserves a pardon from Donald Trump. It's true. Those calls are joined by a number of voices on the left, including former Green Party VP candidate Ajumu Baraka, who said, "I support pardons for Snowden, Assange, and especially Chelsea Manning. All expose the criminality of the Bush-Obama-Biden period." I like how he threw Biden in there. The American Civil Liberties Union, who have previously described Snowden as a patriot, concurred, stating Edward Snowden blew the whistle on illegal government activity, kept secret for years. Our democracy is better off because of him. Glenn Greenwald, Snowden being Snowden is used as platform to urge a pardon of Assange, which is vital for the same reasons and others. Snowden is regarded as a hero around the world because he enabled everyone to see how dangerous and lawless the U.S. deep state is. While the idea of pardoning the former CIA employee drew together an alliance of those on the left and right, the centrist establishment appeared totally against the idea. Former CIA Director John Brennan bristled again, of course, with the indignation at Senator Paul's remarks. Jim Clapper has had a lifetime of dedicated and selfless service to America. Edward Snowden betrayed his country, providing exceptionally sensitive intelligence to China and Russia. That's not true. You consistently demonstrate utter ignorance of U.S. national security. You disgrace the Senate. And then look, this is who Biden's filling his cabinet with. Upon hearing the news that Trump was considering pardoning Snowden, Susan Rice, now head of President-elect Biden's Domestic Policy Council, suggested this was an action so disgusting it showed the Republican Party in a new light. No, actually, this is one good thing that some Republicans are actually arguing for. And just because Republicans support it does not automatically make it a shitty idea. Again, unless you're a tool of the military-industrial complex, the security state, this is inherently the right and just thing to do. So this is Susan Rice, President-elect, head of the Domestic Policy Council. Congratulations, GOP. This is who you are now. Good. If this is who the GOP is, good. There's something I can actually support Republicans being for fuck's sake. I mean, goddamn. She tweeted, setting up a false dichotomy. David Weissman of the Lincoln Project asked why not pardon Russiagate whistleblower Reality Winter instead. Pardon her as well. Meanwhile, New York Times columnist Kurt Eichenwald went on a spirited tirade, claiming that Snowden had given U.S. secrets to the Chinese government and that exposing American spying in Asian nations had likely cost lives. Again, there's been no documented evidence that anything that Edward Snowden provided, to these journalists has cost any lives. I mean, for fuck's sake. Then Liz fucking Cheney, who's rumored to be possibly in the Biden administration in some capacity, or this is what her take was. Edward Snowden is a traitor. He's responsible for the largest and most damaging release of classified info. And again, it's just complete fucking bullshit what these people argue why Snowden is some boogeyman who doesn't deserve a pardon. Nothing he did endangered any lives. He exposed the crimes of the U.S. government and the security state. That's why he has been vilified by people like Liz Cheney, by people like Susan Rice, by people like John Brennan. I mean, for fuck's sake. He handed over U.S. secrets to Russian and Chinese intelligence, putting our troops... Again, it's just fucking complete bullshit. Wrote Liz Cheney, daughter, former VP Dick Cheney, renowned fucking war criminal. God damn. Pardoning him would be unconscionable. This drew a storm of criticism online, not the least from those pointing out her father's own crimes. Of course, the neocon ally of U.S. liberal speaks up. Liz Cheney is an abject liar, responded journalist Glenn Greenwald, for sure. Because she comes from a family of liars, and her career rests solely on her father, one of the century's worst liars. Again, huge reason we got into the Iraq War was because of Dick Cheney. Glenn Greenwald's not wrong there. If the people most desperate for you to not be pardoned are the professional liars of the CIA, the criminal domestic spies of the NSA, bloodthirsty neocon warmongers, and monsters like the Cheney family, that's a pretty good sign that you've served justice and deserve a pardon. I couldn't agree more. I mean, definitely not a huge fan of, most of what Republicans do. I'd say, a vast majority, frankly, but Matt Gaetz is right here. The Cheney ideology supporting forever wars puts more troops at risk than Edward Snowden ever did, for sure. For his own part, Snowden has actually campaigned for the release of Julian Assange rather than himself directly asking the president for clemency for the Australian publisher. Meanwhile, Reality Winter's family appears to be pinning their hopes on the incoming Biden administration. Wouldn't hold my breath. So we'll see again. I'm wishing, hoping, and praying Snowden, Assange, Chelsea Manning, Reality Winter, Mumia Abu-Jamal, Leonard Peltier, all these other political prisoners in the United States get pardoned. I think probably the last two a little bit less likely, but again, if Trump does something that's inherently good, I will praise him for that, just like I'll call him out for all the fucked up, ridiculous shit that has been, the bedrock of his administration, from cutting and gutting all these environmental regulations, getting out of the, nuclear deal with Iran, which Iran was following to a T, assassinating General Qasem Soleimani, all of the racism and white supremacy, the attack on the working class, the Trump tax cuts are a huge giveaway to the wealthy. All of these things obviously should and need to be called out for Trump and his administration, because there's been a lot of really fucked up things they have obviously done. But if he pardons Snowden, Assange, and other people who deserve it, that's a good thing, and I'm going to call it out when I see it as such. Peace. Much love. Leave your thoughts down below. Subscribe for more content.